Hello, everyone. My name is Igor Tomych, and today I'm at Berlin and I'm conducting interviews at Merchant Payment Ecosystem. And I'm pretty pleased to have Julia Streets today with us. And she's a founder and CEO at Streets Consulting. So hello, Julia. How are you?
Hi, how are you? You well?
Yeah, I'm well. We're conducting interviews, a lot of different thoughts, a different perspective to what is going on in the market. And I have a strong sense that we are kind of on the change of the whatever is happening in the digital world. So today I really would like to pick up your mind and understand several questions.
Of course, take it away. Very delighted to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for coming and finding the time for us. So the first question, I think, right now we see that before that, the industry conception was that to become more effective with the payments, you had to have like technical skills, but it's not an answer anymore. What do you think right now in payment industry is required to be the leader and kind of lead people?
Do you know, it's a really good question, and it's such a brilliant question right now, because you're right, we're going through this incredible transformation. To sort of explain what we do all day, so everything we're doing with our clients, whether they're startups or scale-ups, whether they're global organizations or industry associations, is based around the simple premise of growth and transformation.
Yep.
So part of that is business development, marketing, communications. So as you'd expect, that means we create and drive campaigns that fill those sales funnels. We also create content, great content that is fueling those funnels. But the big thing that makes us different is we have a coaching capability. So we really think about the humans in the mix. So therefore, when we're thinking about executive coaching for senior execs, so C-suite executives, and as businesses grow, they need to be supporting their leadership team as they make that transformation, that shift into a leadership seat. But of course, you know, nobody's got time, particularly in a fast growth scale up, to go on a residential course or to go and study an MPE, for example. You know, we need much more agile ways of learning. Yeah. But then the other thing is also thinking about across the organization about the skills, the workforce at large. So when we think about, people to call them soft skills, for example, professional skills, the human skills. And we know that from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, that those individuals who are going to really thrive. So if you look at the Future of Jobs report from the World Economic Forum, it states very clearly that in an AI-driven world, it's those employees who've got excellent human skills, professional skills, soft skills, that are going to really outperform their peers. And it's what's going to make organizations very, very competitive. Now, that's a very interesting challenge for a room like this, where we are, you know, payments domain experts, or we are technical experts.
Hard skill experts.
Hard skills, the technical skills. And that's why the soft skills now are really coming to the fore. A couple of things we've done. Well, first of all, the one-to-one coaching, the boot camps, the workshops. But also I'm invited as a speaker to moderate not only sessions. I've just come off stage talking about people in payments, and this is exactly what we're talking about. But also I'm an invited speaker, travel the world, talking to various organizations about this topic. But then also we have a model which is one-to-all, and it's called Soft Skilling. Yeah. So we have an online course, so everybody can invest in their own skills and come and learn about emotional intelligence, critical thinking, communication, teamwork, collaboration, and also resilience and adaptability. So welcome to my head, welcome to my world. This is what I think about every single day.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense, because right now, building the strong product is not possible without building a strong team. So it's not the time anymore that you can kind of dig into the specific area and there is no business model or company which is already operating. Like with the fintechs, it seems that with the mobile era, everything is already covered. Like you cannot be competing by just having digital application. Exactly. You need to have a proper business model, which requires proper business team to make sure. Yeah. But another thing which is interesting, and I think it's, as AI become embedded across financial services, what new skills or leadership habits do you think payments professionals need to develop to stay relevant in digital first industry? Partially covered that, but anything except like the soft skills.
Well, yes, I mean, so much. So let's think about that from the point of view of every single day. Yeah. So every single day, every single employee, every single partner, every single individual in this industry should be thinking about, am I investing enough? Or am I even taking the attitude of curiosity?
Yeah.
Because how we learn right now is all changing. What we need to know is changing. And then the other piece is, if we think about middle layer leadership and senior leadership, is I always have this concept of a brilliant author who is an incredible coach in the US called Marshall Goldsmith. And he wrote a book, I recommend it to everybody, called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And it is basically, we go through our lives being very operational.
Yeah.
You know, we turn up every day, we deliver our projects, we deliver our plans. In terms of evolving as leaders and emerging leaders in our organizations, it's about being really clear about who we are, so self-awareness. That therefore can make us wiser about what we need to be really successful. To be constantly investing in what it is that's going to make us really stand out as leaders, to be able to have the wisdom to know where to focus and where to allow space and where to give your attention to allow your organization to grow.
Yeah.
And that whole thing about making space. So founders who then land investment and then all of a sudden the pressure increases, are now hiring people. So we know that culture is very important. But actually, as you go up, you need to allow your leadership team to come up and give them the autonomy, but with frameworks and very clear expectations. But you have to give people that space. Equally, as they are leading their teams, you need to give your teams beneath you space in order to be crystal clear about expectation, gain commitments, set guardrails, and also to think about what is your role. Your role isn't to micromanage. Your role is to hold that team, guide that team, and inspire that team. And they are very, very different skills.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And being the founder, I think the growth moment is most challenging because you kind of different regimes, because you are starting with the startup and entrepreneurship, but then the company and the scale requires you to do the management of the large organization rather than building something from the scratch and risking everything, because administering is different from the nature from building from the scratch.
That's very true. And also, by the way, you need to be at the very top of your game, thinking about all of, you need to be horizon scanning constantly. You need to be sitting and thinking about the strategy. You have to be thinking at a high level about the culture of the organization. So if you're constantly remaining in the detail of your company, then actually what you're doing is you're mitigating you're restricting your capability to think and to really begin to look 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years hence. Also, your role is now to work with your investors and to be really thinking about the opportunities, but also that ROI that they're looking for, and to manage all of that really well. So you've got to think about actually where's your focus, and it's all about focus. And one of the reasons I really got into this is because also I'm a practitioner. We're not just a coach for hire. I'm a practitioner. I wake up every single day thinking about the same thing. So therefore, that lived experience of what that feels like, the reality of growing a business, but then also having, I would like to think, that kind of ability to be able to go, you know what, actually, I'm restricting my company if I'm still hanging on to the detail. By bringing coaching in, it makes me think bigger. It adds more value to our clients and our industry, but also it creates that space for everybody else to grow. Because it's all good on paper.
Yeah.
The question is, how do you do it? And that's what we're really focused on.
But that's usual approach, because sometimes on academic level, everything is simple, in a practice, everything's still quite challenging.
And you know what, if we were all robots,
Yeah.
it would be easier.
I don't know.
Human beings are deeply complex people. So therefore, how do you understand the dynamics of all the humans in your organization? And I know, right, so I travel the world interviewing leaders on very big stages and in very small rooms. Did you know I used to be a stand-up comedian? So which I get invited to do lots of things at conferences like this. What's interesting is whether it's capital markets, whether it's the world of payments, whether it's the world of reg tech, digital assets, and I could just keep going and keep going. Every single interview I have with anybody, people always come up without fail. So this is why this matters.
Thank you for sharing all your thoughts. I think it's quite inspiring in the age of total digitalization and language models, because it feels like robots are everywhere, and highlighting that we are still humans, and that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing it today with us.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's going to be an amazing conference. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are too.
Yeah, definitely.